Welcome to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian, and right behind me is the all-new 2023 Mazda CX-90, and this one is a PHEV, which means plug-in hybrid, which is pretty cool. This power plant, which we can't open the hood, unfortunately, because this thing is so new. We're actually at the unveiling for this. There's no driving yet or anything like that. But I want to talk about power plant real quick. The PHEV is using the older, and old's the wrong word, but the current 2.5 liter turbo you find in other Mazda products, but it is mounted longitudinally. It is also paired with a electric motor and battery system, and it's a not a mild hybrid, this is the actual hybrid. So it's gonna be pretty cool. It comes in, I think it's 232 horsepower and 369 torque, pretty awesome. And more on that later on we'll be able to get into more of the powertrain stuff. But right now I'm going to show you the exterior, and then in a second we'll flip over. Craig will show you the details of the interior. First thing I want to start with are the wheels. These do follow the format of previous Mazda design, but this is bigger. It's a 21-inch wheel. We've not seen that before. There's also a black and machine face, and I think it looks really good. That went very well. Also up here you see it says PHEV. That's your plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. If you have the Inline 6 version of this car, it will say Inline 6 right there, which is really cool. Now, let's talk about the Inline 6 a little bit. That is an all-new engine. That is not a previous architecture modified. That's a completely new thing. In the era of electrification and downsizing, it's refreshing to see someone go back to such a balanced, excellent engine design, much like BMW has been using for years. And the smoothness of that, I can tell you, is gonna be awesome. It's a turbo setup. It makes a little bit more power, but more on that later. That's not what's in here. This is the PHEV. Coming down the side, you do have bright work. Coming all the way down, and satin on the roof rails. Something that I've noticed here is that this obviously will be replacing the CX-9 at some point, but this is an all new architecture. It is rear-wheel drive based. Now, because it's an SUV and it's a Mazda, that means it is default all-wheel drive, but it is a rear biased, rear-wheel drive based platform, and those that drive cars and have passion about them know what that means. That means oversteer is the default before understeer, despite some suspension tuning, but the power shooting gear first. That's really neat. I like that a lot. You can see on here the Mazda design language is still here. The Mazda embossed on the side. Looks really elegant, really beautiful. And of course, it's a Mazda, so the paint is awesome. Everyone else take notice. Paint's gonna be good. Come on around. This is a first outside of the MX-30 to have a plug. This is pretty cool. We're not used to seeing that. This particular unit is staged. It's not powered up actually, so the lights don't show up, but that'll be pretty cool. This is also something you'll see the cord coming around. This is actually a vehicle that can be charged at your house because it's a plug-in hybrid. It can be driven off that. This is not just a hybrid. The plug-in hybrid's a big deal. I like that a lot. Something else that shows its intent, and we don't have specifics on this, but look at this trailer hitch. That is a Class 2 receiver, and that tells you right there at least a range of intended towing capability. And on the truck channel that we deal with, that is important. Also, all-wheel drive is going to be neat too. So, come around, you look at the design features, it really looks, if you've seen the CX-50, this feels like a lot of the architectural language of design is there, and I like that a lot. Not a problem there. On the other side, you also have the fuel side. So fuel over here, plug for electric over there. And I think that's about it for the exterior. Let's hop to the interior and see what Craig has to say about it.
Welcome to the interior, the all-new, not released yet, Mazda CX-90. I'm back here in the third row of this 7-passenger unit. 3 seat belts back here, 2 in the second row and 2 in the front row. Not bad room back here. I mean, I'm a full-size adult and I wouldn't really want to sit back here. Brian wouldn't even fit back here. But that's the nature of 3-row SUVs, and that's where we're at. However, third-row occupants aren't relegated to complete terribleness. You get 4 cup holders here in the back. You get USB-C chargers on both sides, so your electronics work and your kids are quiet in the back. Let's move to the second row. All right, moving on to the second row. Oh, watch your head there. I learned that from doing this before. Plenty of room back here, and this is the large architecture platform from Mazda. We are going to get the CX-90, the CX-70. In Europe and in Japan, they'll get the CX-60, CX-80s. It's a little bit narrower. What that means for us here in the States, which is good news, we get girth, baby, and that's what people want. And so we got plenty of room from both sides and the front. This is a roomy, comfortable SUV. Mazda, one of the criticisms of the previous model that used to have the CX-9, it was nice, it was comfortable, but it wasn't the roomiest 3-row SUV. They've kind of solved that problem here. I'm looking forward to being able to get our hands behind the wheel on this. But one of the things we get in the second row, we get nice armrest that you can indent, that's got little indentions. You can put it, ratchet it, put it right where you want. That's nice. I get 2 cup holders here for my hydro flask or whatever bottles I'm trying to save the planet with right there. And I also get more cup holders here, so I've got 6 cup holders in the second row. If you're keeping up with those in the back, we're up to 10 now. We're getting ready to go to the front. Let's see how many we end up with when we get up there. We get USB-C chargers in the back as well. So we got 2 in the back, 2 in the second row, and we get our own climate control. So we get a tri-zone climate control. Before we move up to the front, I want to point out that we do get the panoramic roof for the second rows, because that's part of the business class. You get a few more features. Let's move on to the front. Moving on to the cockpit, everybody's favorite spot. No, yes, no, it is. Mazda, here's what Mazda does right. Mazda has the driver and the person, the human element. They care about it, they pay attention to it, and they make comfort and ease of use a huge priority. And we get it here as well in this unit. That doesn't go away with this. Great seating position, great sight lines. The somewhat controversial center stack, we'll find out later if it's actually touchscreen or not. It probably will be, but I love where Mazda positioned these in every car. It's easy to see. It's just one of those deals where here's what Mazda does. You get in and you just drive it. You don't overthink it. Some new features we've seen in the CX-90 that we haven't seen in other Mazdas. We get a new shifter, which is interesting. You see that a lot when you get new transmissions, and we don't have all the details yet of this one, but we know there's a new 8-speed for sure with the Inline 6 version. We'll find out more details on this when we have it. We'll share that. You also get the lovely Mazda scroll wheel here, which is just the best in the business. You've got a volume and a tuning knob, essentially is what happens, and you don't have to take your eyes off the road, and you can feel it without looking away from the road. Thank you for doing that. With that, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for more. We'll have more details on the Mazda CX-90s that comes out coming your way. Check out all our socials. Oh, let's finish a couple of count. 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4. That's 14 total for those of you playing the drinking game home at home.
That's 2 per occupant.
That's 2 per occupant. You're in business with this, so thanks for watching.